Namaste, friends, and welcome back to day 25 of our 30-day meditation transformation series. The end is approaching. Wow, when I start these programs, it always seems like it's so far away, but as we get close to the end, it's like, oh my God, like it goes so quick in the end. Sitting doing nothing, who knew? Today I wanted to expand a little bit more on what I was saying yesterday about how words and definitions limit us, because they not only limit us, but they can cause us to lose a sense of our freedom. And what I mean by that is lose a sense of our freedom of thought. I'm not saying this is for everyone, but we can see it. When we define ourselves, or better, when we identify with something. I'm going to use politics here for an example. And I know I'm going to reference American politics because the majority of you watching are American, but I'm sure you can find a way that this applies to your own life, to your own circumstances with this sort of identity. Is if someone identifies with this political party, okay, you're red or you're blue. If you identify with red, do you really agree with 100% of what red represents? If you choose blue or green or yellow, do you really agree with 100% of what that definition encapsulates? I highly doubt it, because it's very, very rare that we ever agree 100% with anything that is not ourself. My wife Clelia, I love her like a crazy. I would do anything for her. I don't agree 100% with the way that she sees the life. Maybe high 90s, but never 100%, because that 100% is completely unique to you and it's transient. It's changing moment to moment. New information, new experiences are coming. The way that we see the world is always expanding, hopefully, unless we confine ourselves to the limitations and the definitions of some identification. Then that inhibits us from seeing things from our own perspective. So in this way, when we identify with something, it can jade the way that we experience it. And it can also disturb our relationships. Look, in the last couple of years, how many relationships have been disturbed over a medical status? You know, it's yes or it's no, and then all of this frustration comes. Everybody's infinite, everybody's unique, and nobody fits in a one box of yes or no, red or blue. There's this big movement right now about gender, you know, and now there's, I don't know the number, 64 different genders. On some level, it's a beautiful thing, because it's showing that people are stepping out of some boxes. You know, okay, there's no longer just these boxes that we were born into, and we actually have this capacity to be infinite. And that's exactly what the yogis would say. Step out of your limitations. But the way that it's going right now is maybe a little bit immature in some sense, because it's just stepping from one box to another. Okay, I'm going to create this new identification to fit into. But still, again, it goes from one contraction to another. There's still contraction there. And then, of course, okay, I've chosen this summary to identify myself with. But of course, there's peripheral things where, okay, I agree with that, I don't agree with that, I agree with that, I don't agree with that. So again, putting yourself in this box, if you're aware that you're more than that box, is okay. Okay, I chose yellow, but I know that I like some green, I like some red, I like some blue. That's okay. But if you say I chose yellow and then immediately shut off your own free will, your own sense of thinking, and say, okay, whatever yellow says, I agree with. You see how this identification can be a loss of freedom. So not only do the words limit us and define us, but they can also start to change the way that we act. I give you an example from my own life. You know, I grew up like quite a smart child, a gifted child, and they always say, oh, you have so much potential. You need to go into the sciences. You need to go into mathematics. So I did. I went to chemistry and I studied chemistry, and I did the schooling, and I graduated, and I found myself working in a laboratory with fluorescent lighting, a white gown, purple gloves, glasses, because I was working with carcinogenic chemicals all day. And I felt like, I'm not moving my body. I'm definitely not focused on my health. The people around me were stressed out. It was not me. It was not my choice. It was the society said, you're smart, you need to do this sort of work. You know, and I fell into that. And luckily, by some grace, I managed to step out of it. And I realized, you know what? Just because I'm, fit for some box doesn't mean I can't do something else. And I started to travel, and I found yoga, and I Now we're here and I'm sharing all these crazy things that I've learned with you over the years because I'm much more passionate about that. But if I had let the society define me because X equals Y and now you need to fit into that box, man, I could have had my whole life warped to that path that was carved out for me. So just another example of be wary of the words that we choose because you're beyond them. You can't, it's still, I can call myself a yoga teacher. It's really easy in the common time. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I teach yoga. Okay. Oh, I'm married. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. You know, these things are good to use in common knowledge, but to be aware inside, beyond those words, you're so much more than that. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Now let's get ready to practice our meditation together. Our posture for today, if you're following along with me, will be Padmasana. So if you need any props to support you, take that. If you've got your item of ritual, have that ready. We'll come into the position to start. We start with the legs open wide. We'll start with the left leg. So bring the left leg in, locking the knee first, and then placing it on top of the right thigh. Now bending the right knee all the way so that we lock the knee. We have no torsion there. We lift the right leg, we place it on top of the left thigh. Finding any way that's comfortable. And remember, if the posture is not comfortable, don't push it. You don't need to. Find the way that you are comfortable. Make any final adjustments to come into position. Sitting nice and tall, pressing the seat down, reaching the crown of the head up. Hands on the knees, palms down for grounding, palms up for elevation. Whatever you feel that you need today. Close the eyes. Go inside. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Then open the mouth inside out. Soften the body. Soften the mind. Again, deep inhalation. Side out. Feel those vibrations massaging the nervous system, bringing you deeper into a state of relaxation. One more time, deep breath. Sniffing even more. And let go. Sitting with the eyes closed. Attention turned inside. Taking note of where you are now before we begin the practice. How you feel in your body, your mind, your energy, your emotions. No need to change it. Just being aware of what is there. It'll change on its own. Now we'll interact with our item to create a ritual, whatever that means for you. We will now prepare for meditation. Sitting with the eyes closed, attention turned inside, bringing all of your awareness to the flow of respiration in and out through the nose. Each breath softening deeper into the body. Each breath, relaxing deeper the mind. Fully aware of the flow of respiration, the subtle sensations, tiny vibrations. And as the mind goes quiet, you can introduce the mantra, So, hum. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Just mentally. If at any point you notice the mind has wandered, gently note to yourself, I am thinking, I'm coming back to the breath, coming back to the mantra. And sitting with the eyes closed, attention turned inside. Become aware of where you are now after the practice. In your body, energy, emotions, mind. As always, we will conclude with a moment of gratitude for the time and space to look within, to connect with the breath, the truth, the infinite being that is you. Soham, I am that. Feel the infinite potential within you, the unbound, limitless source of energy, of consciousness that resides within you. And give thanks for that. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thank you. Take a deep inhalation into the heart. And as you exhale, gently coming back. So that once again, from the bottom of my heart, I might thank you for joining me today. Let me know how your experience was with this meditation, how it's going for you if you're managing to do meditation outside of this time we're sharing together. Any insights, revelations, any challenges, I'm very happy to hear and to offer you anything I can to support you. Have a beautiful day. I see you again tomorrow. Namaste.